Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Meshina, and I'm actually going to be reviewing the Blazing Vortex set. So, I'll kind of try to give you my thoughts and analysis. Is this actually going to be worth it? Because, I've heard a lot of people complaining about the set, saying that it is one of the weakest sets of all time. So, I'm not going to tell you what I think right now, so we're actually going to jump right into it. So, to start things off, we have a Wind Witch with a couple of Warrock monsters. Now, the Warrock monsters, let's not kid ourselves, they are complete garbage. I mean, even Nadir, Farfa, actually made a video on his channel saying, can Goat Control actually beat Warrock? And I can promise you that Warrock is literally, I want to say even worse than Goat Control, because the thing is, Warrock actually needs, like, it needed, like, actual staple, like, modern staples to actually be able to do anything. Like, cards that never really existed in GOATs anyways, like Lightning Storm evenly and stuff like that. So, it just looks like such an old school mechanic to be printed in 2021. To me, it just makes no sense. Like, the fact that you actually want every single Warrock monster to always only get an effect when they battle, it just makes no sense, man. Only the field spell is good, like is really good, and also the guy that special summons itself from the hand, because it's kind of like another Kage Tokage for Guki, when that is 100% respectable. So yeah, but apart from that, everything complete garbage. So unless they get like more support in the future, but to be fair, I want to say Konami actually has a tendency right now to always forget TCG archetypes. Like, instead of actually always trying to support the previous TCG archetypes, they're just always creating more and more and always forgetting them every single time. Time Thief, every time we get like new Time Thief support, it's not because the TCG is giving them, but because the OCG is actually making them, and then we're eventually gonna get them. So it's kind of boring, but hey, what can you do? Alright, finally, we're actually into the first really good card of the set, Virtual World Gate Zwang. So this is basically a monster reborn. Well, it's a trap card that you pitch with your virtual worlds, because, they always have that foolish effect, and it can pretty much revive back a virtual world from your graveyard, but then you have to discard one card, kind of like the same way King Long does, and I can promise you that Zwang will actually make virtual world even better. So yeah, now the deck can actually play through interruption significantly better, and you might actually start being kind of scared. I don't know, it's definitely something. Anyways, try Brigade Rendezvous, that's a quick play spell. I kind of forgot what it did, but I think this is a decent card, not great, but like still. Now we have all the fabled guys. Well, I mean, not really all of them actually. Yeah, not really. Yeah, we have the first fabled monster, which the new fabled cards are, they don't suck, but the thing is, all I can really think of, like, with them that could be broken would be like Needle Fiber with Herald of Arclight combos, but everyone knows that this isn't really super stable because Needle Fiber kind of has a higher risk of dying in the next ban list or the next couple of ban lists, so I wouldn't really count on that too much. And then, yeah, whatever, Synchro. This card, Steel Star Regulator, is complete garbage. It's so crazy. Every single Springens card, oh, Springens, used to be Spriggans, they aren't good. So, yeah, every single year, every single, arc of the Yu-Gi-Oh anime, there's always kind of this new lore of cards. Like for Arc 5, it was the Zodiac Monsters, and then for the set right after that, which was Vrains, it was like the World Legacy with Orcust and stuff. So, yeah, and by the way, for Arc 5, it was like a combination of so many things, like Zodiac, Dynamist, Magispector, Ignite, Metalfoes, like all of those decks, but this is like with Albaz and the Dragma and other stuff, but this is just like the bad portion of the lore. The Dragma are like the really good ones, but this is just complete garbage. I'm sorry. Anyways, S-Force. Now, I actually don't know that much about S-Force, but I really want to make a video on it because, I don't know, it looks kind of interesting. It kind of reminds me of Mech Knights in a way, because you have some tagging out, you have some searches, recycle back, special summons, columns actually matter, which is very interesting. So no, it definitely is the kind of deck that I want to at least test out myself before I give my like review on it, because I don't want to give like blind opinions. Its opinions are pretty much always wrong unless you're actually giving facts. So yeah. Anyways, reinforcement of the army troops. This card is garbage outside of the really cool name, and yeah, no, there's nothing that I like about this. It's hard once per turn or whatever, and it doesn't even do that much about like outside of like special summoning a level 4 warrior from your hand during the battle phase again, but that's just no. Whatever, just a bunch of not really relevant cards. Alright, cool. So we got the new Metalfoes monsters. So, even their names changed? Okay. Well, I mean, the fusion is still the same. Metalfoes Fusion. This card's alright, but it's definitely not broken. Even Metalfoes Fusion is still, you know, not always better, but the thing is, Metalfoes Fusion is actually once per turn, so you can't really abuse it that much. So at best, it's kind of fair. And also, Metalfoes actually got a little hit with Link Cross getting banned, actually. So now you kind of have one less resource at your disposal every single time you have the combo. And of course, as long as people are playing hand traps and as long as Astrograph is not like an option, I want to say Metalfoes have absolutely zero potential. And I know what I'm saying because I play the deck a lot. I have a lot of experience with Metalfoes, and I can tell you the deck loses ridiculously hard to hand traps. So that's really unfortunate, but hey, at least Ghost Bell doesn't do anything. Skullmeister is actually kind of annoying on Metalfoes combination, but hey. Anyways, Ojama Pink, whatever. Yeah, nobody really cares. Neroi, blah blah. Meshina, Unclasper. I think that was a decent Meshina monster. I forgot. Yeah, that was the one that like foolishes and like special summons itself from the hand or something. I forgot, but I'm pretty sure this is definitely a respectable card. So I'm probably gonna make like an updated Meshina video on this quite soon. So right now I don't really see anything. This is like the ritual monster for the Armed Dragon Thunder, but nah. Alright, a Heavy Metalfoes Amalgam. This also deserves probably its own video, quote-unquote, because a lot of people actually try to come up with combos with it, but every time they do, I kind of use the exact same counter-argument to pretty much invalidate everything that they achieve, because I always say, okay, but what was your opening hand to even get that Amalgam? And they were like, oh, Rescue Rabbit. I'm like, if you have Rescue Rabbit, you can just summon like Dragon Pulse or whatever, and then make Time Star Magician and search Magician Soul so you can pitch your double combination. So this, you need like, I'm probably going to have to like look up into this a lot in order to see if this card is actually still worth playing, maybe, like on top of the, like, actual standard combo. Maybe there's a way to incorporate this, but it's, this card, they just made it so much worse for no reason. It's, I want to say harder to summon the Electrum, literally, because you need like 2 Metalfoes monster, not even just 2 Pendulums, and on top of that, it has pretty crappy arrows, so you always have to destroy it, but then when it comes back, it destroys a face-up card on the field, so that's kind of shitty, and on top of that, the arrows don't really matter because every time you're pendulum summoning, it's always because of Appaloosa or Selene, which gives you 3 like zones anyways. So it's not even like this actually mattered, but whatever. Like I said, I'm going to make an entire video on that. So once again, even more fabled, blah blah. This is not relevant for Dragma. Armed Dragons, the Armed Dragon Thunder are just, once again, I'm sorry, but they're not good. I mean, right now they're unplayable, but if they actually get more support, maybe, because the concept isn't, the concept I want to say is actually kind of bad, to be honest, because every time you want to go into the next monster, you always go neg1, except if you actually pitch a card that goes +1, in which case you go break even. So at best, you're just refunding all of your payments, but at worst, you're actually negging, and you're just wasting a lot of cards. So yeah, it's just not a really, like I said, not a modern strategy to play, and it's not really like you could play like a pure competitive Armed Dragon Thunder deck that would actually beat the meta. If you can actually manage to do that, please let me know so I can actually maybe have a heart attack and tell everyone, because right now I just don't really see how that's a possibility. But anyways, so yeah, I guess the Blitz is actually a really good card, and there's also like a kind of a quick launch, but it's once per turn, so it's not even as good as quick launch. And yeah, no, whatever. Alright, the Ancient Warriors. I know there's one that's a monster that's really good, like level 8 Dark or something. I really need to make a video on this because it's really insane. But anyways, now we're actually finally getting into the secret rare. So Warrock Mountain is the first secret rare. Basically, it's the kind of card that's going to be worth maybe $1 to $2. If you pull it, you lose a lot of money. So you pretty much have to cross your fingers. Please don't pull this. Please don't. However, now this card, Underworld Goddess of the Closed World, was the name was actually Ceres Eris Cornogias. That's a link 5 that actually allows you to link using your opponent's monsters. This is actually an extremely good card, by the way. Really, 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 really good. So I'm actually kind of really happy that we have it as a secret rare. We're just gonna look better, but at the same time, it kind of devaluates the box on its own, because if you don't actually pull the secrets that you want, you're just gonna lose a lot of money. So yeah. Anyways. Underdog, this is the continuous trap floodgate that I kind of talked about, and I said that I hated it. So I just my god, I don't really see any utility for this card. I'm sorry, maybe in Clifford, but that's kind of it, because at least during your opponent's turn, your monsters being negated is actually good for you since they become stronger, and during your turn, well, their monsters become like irrelevant because they lose their effects, but that doesn't make a card good. It still takes like spots in your main deck, and it's gonna make, I don't know, your hands probably worse, so no. S-Force cards. Now, the field spell is actually really good. It searches on activation, I think, something like that. And it's just like an overall pretty good card, so this is, I'm not going to complain too much about the fact that this is a field spell, but the fact that S-Force is actually taking 2 spots in the secret rare spot, while they're not actually going to be like meta impactful, I mean, at least not like super meta impactful, at best they're probably going to be on the level of just like regular Mech Knights. So if you're an extremely good and really experienced player, maybe you're going to do some nice things with S-Force, but to be fair, it's the kind of deck that we're just gonna have to wait for more support, because at the current moment, it's I mean, come on. Just don't really have enough to judge, you know? Anyways, Eldritch the Mad Golden Lord. That's kind of like a super poly target for Eldritch. You can use Eldritch the Golden Lord on a level 5 or higher zombie, so Conquistador, Haquero, Guardian, and a second Eldritch, or, I don't know, like Doom King, Ballard Roch. And this actually has a pretty good effect, but I'm not going to really go into details too much. But once again, the fact that this actually takes a secret rare spot, not really good, because this will never be more than a one-of, regardless of what kind of deck you play. Like, if you play non-Eldritch and you just want to play this as a super poly target, or if you do play Eldritch and you're actually planning on actually fusion summoning this, I can't really see this, honestly, being any more than a one-of. So, I am not a fan of this. Secret Rare is just going to be, once again, a waste of money. Since people only need one, there's not going to be a lot of inflation, so this will never have a lot of value. And as a matter of fact, I want to say the only card that's really going to have any form of value up until now would be Underworld Goddess of the Closed World, but we're not done with the secret rares, so Armed Dragon Flash is actually the quick launch. Once again, I'm disappointed to see that this is a secret rare, should have been a super. It kind of just proves to you how weak this set truly is, when cards that are not broken, not overpowered whatsoever, extremely fair, are secret rares. Like, the fact that you buy a booster box for a lot of money, and you end up pulling cards that maybe are gonna worth like $5, that are supposed to be at least worth like 30 to 40, well, I mean, no, it's basically game over for your wallet, so I'm sorry, but Armed Dragon Flash being a secret rare definitely definitely doesn't deserve it. Now, this is the one card that actually deserves secret rare the most. Pot of Prosperity now, and also a Starlight Rare, by the way. Up until now, there wasn't any other card that could be a Starlight Rare. So Pot of Prosperity is actually an extremely good card. It's already doing really well in the OCG, and I can promise you that it will do really, really good in the TCG too. It's kind of like a duality, but doesn't restrict you to no special summoning for the rest of the turn. Well, actually, for the entire turn. You can't even special and then duality. So Pot of Prosperity is actually a fantastic card. I have so many positive things to say about this, and I'm actually going to make a review Pot of Prosperity against Desires and Extravagance, so definitely stay tuned for that. And also, it's really nice to see that it actually is a Starlight Rare, because it's definitely a collector's card, and people who really want to max rarity their competitive deck, or even their casual deck, are going to be quite happy with this. So yeah, this is probably going to get the Extravagance treatment though, so not going to be reprinted in the next like couple of year and a half, honestly. And then you're going to maybe get like a cheap version of Prosperity, but even then, it's not going to be that cheap. It's going to still be like 30 to 40, but at the current moment, I don't see Pot of Prosperity being any less than like 70 or something like that, so yes, sorry. Anyways, Heavenly Zephyr Miradora, I honestly have no idea what this is. It's kind of sad. What even is this? An Armed Dragon Thunder level 10. Again, this is not a relevant card. I am not mad that this is a Starlight because it's the cover card, and even the fact that it's a secret rare, I shouldn't complain too much, because even in very strong, like, booster sets, the cover card has a tendency to pretty much always be a secret rare. Oh, and by the way, Heavenly Zephyr Mirador is actually the hand shop. They cannot be negated, so once again, this also deserves its own review video. There's actually kind of a lot to talk about with this, to be honest, so yeah. Anyways, the rest of the cards, Trishula is that one card that was kind of like, you know, DD Crow before Effect Veiler, reprinted as a Starlight Rare, and this time it's gonna be worth a lot of money. But Trishula is just not a hand trap, so people won't necessarily have to care that much, so yeah. Anyways, Wind Witch Chimes or whatever, normal spell, whatever. White Baking, this card is really good. Really, really, really good. I feel like every time there's like new Skull Servant support, it's always fantastic and never really disappoints. And trust me, this card is really good. You're gonna be really happy if you play Skull Servant. So yeah, this is nice, and it's just a super rare, so you don't have to invest too much money into making your zombie deck a little better. Virtual World 2-2, that's the level 6, that's kind of similar to Nyan Nyan in a way, because it doesn't have the typical from hand effect, but it's not broken, it's just an extra name, it's no more than a one-of, I want to say, maybe, I don't know. I can't see this being like a 2-of or something, but I'm definitely going to make, once again, just like the other decks, I'm going to make an updated version of Virtual World, because I want to think Zwang is actually the best thing for Virtual World. And as a matter of fact, I want to say the best cards in this set are Pot of Prosperity, Underworld Goddess of the Closed World, and actually Virtual World Gate Zwang or whatever. Yeah, even if the rest of the cards aren't that great, this set will still have at least a small impact in the meta. But yeah, and then the rest is just Warrocks, S4s, Spriggans again, Fabled, Dragoonity. I think this is kind of a cool card. It's that odd level 7, I think, Dragoonity monster. Yes, exactly, it's a level 7. It's not bad. Yeah, exactly. It's the giant DD Crow. It doesn't suck, but it's not fantastic. You need to specifically have, I think, Gizarm or whatever, the level 3 tuner, because it's hard to make odd level Dragoonity monsters in the deck. Usually they're all kind of like level 2 tuners and level 4, level 6 non-tuners, so yeah, you end up making like level 6, 8, 10 synchros, but not really level 7. But anyways, now the rest, we definitely have Angel Statue, Azurne, whatever. That's a super rare. I really like this card, actually. I think it's really nice in case Eldritch ever becomes, like, super crippled. You can actually start playing this and actually play it as a continuous trap control deck. It's nice. And oh, and by the way, that was the Ancient Warrior monster that I was talking about, the level 8 that actually pops a monster during each, like, main phase or something. So main phase 1, main phase 2, it's really freaking sick. So I like it a lot. And then the Wind Witch monsters, whatever. Diamond Bell isn't really good because you're kind of always want to make like Crystal Wing and stuff. Freeze Bell, I forgot what it was, but I definitely know that there is at least 1 or 2 good Wind Witch cards in there, so yes. And then as for stuff, Greater Polymerization sucks. Now, this card is actually extremely good. Kuardi as the Trisvasic Dialman, or whatever this is. It's an ultra rare, but it's actually a really nice card. It needs a link, an Xyz, and a synchro. So Super Poly target, yes. Appaloosa, Boral Savage, Tornado or Dweller, or VFD, stuff like that. And basically, it has a really cool effect where you can pay in multiples of 2,000 to apply 1 to 3 effects. So recycle back a spell or trap from your graveyard to your hand, destroy 3 cards your opponent controls, and then gain attack to half of the difference between your and your opponent's life points, but for the rest of the turn, your other monsters can't attack. So yeah, and it also has like 3,000 attack. A very respectable card. Level 9 monster as well, so VFD shenanigans maybe. I don't know, I like it a lot. You can recycle back the Super Poly that you used to make this card to begin with. So yeah, no, not too bad. I want to say, as a set overall, it's not great. It doesn't suck that much, but as like product to buy the box, it's pretty much guaranteed that you lose money because the secret rares, most of them are just not the money cards. So I'm not saying that this set will not appeal to a lot of players, but it definitely won't appeal to people who like getting their money back or people who really want just competitive cards at all. So who only want competitive cards actually. So that's all I had to say in Showcase for this, I guess, review on Blazing Vortex. If you guys have any comments or feedback or suggestions or whatever, definitely let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it motivates me a lot to keep making videos like these. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.